Alrighty. I call to order the February 6, 2024 public hearing and regular meeting of the Committee on Planning, Zoning, and Housing. The time is now 6:32 p.m. Ms. Clerk, will you please call the roll and note any seated alderpersons? Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chair. Alderman Simpson,
Present.
Alderman Scott, Alderman McAdams, Alderman McNamara,
Here.
Malinowski,
Here.
Russell,
Here.
Harvest. Also seating this evening are Alderman Barbosa, Alderman Connors, Alderman Sanchez, and Alderman Santiago. Mr. Chair, you have a quorum.
Thank you. And Ms. Clerk, will you please read into the record the notice of the public hearing?
Mr. Chair, I move we waive the reading of the motion, of the legal notice.
Alrighty. Well, we have a motion by Alderman Malinowski, seconded by, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Russell? All in favor? Or, I'm sorry, is there discussion on this or no? I don't think so. No discussion? All right, well, seeing none anyways, all in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. The motion to waive the reading by, yes, the reading is waived. We'll be moving on to a public hearing. So having been noticed properly, we will begin the public hearing. Please remember to state your name and address for the record and limit your speaking time to 3 minutes. The item for the public hearing is item number 36328, amend the Code of Ordinances to add section 2-24.3 for the creation of the Common Council Committee on Housing and Homelessness. Are there any speakers for this item? Are there any speakers for this item? One more time, if there's any speakers for this item. All right, seeing no speakers, we will close the public hearing and move on to the regular meeting. The time is now 6:34 p.m. There are no callers. Okay. First item on our agenda is item number 36347, the agreement with Tritech Americas LLC to pursue the non-residential renewable energy solutions state agricultural and municipal program, NRES SAM auction program. May I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman McNamara.
I think I've heard from members that they've received this information late, so before I make a motion, I'd like to hear from...
He's got to make a motion.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. I make a motion to accept and refer to the council with a neutral recommendation, and I believe Mr. Second?
Alrighty, so there's a motion by Alderman McNamara to accept and refer to the Common Council with a neutral recommendation, and seconded by Alderwoman McAdams. Is there any discussion?
I think we have Mr. Delgadillo, who's here
Yes.
to explain this 36347 and give us a little background on the contract, if you can.
Yeah, no problem. I actually also have the vendors here that brought this opportunity to us through you, Mr. Chair. So what happens is the private developers develop solar projects, and when they develop these solar projects, there's opportunities for municipalities to take on those credits, and distressed municipalities like ourselves actually get a little bonus. So what happens is these companies submit a bid to win certain credits that helps them accomplish the project, and then by doing that, they actually provide the city with in this case, a yearly payment for 5 years for the energy produced. I'd like to bring up the two people from that provided the opportunity for us, because they could definitely provide it in a little bit further detail. That's That's the generic version for you guys, but if you'd like to hear further, they'll explain to you more.
Welcome.
Thank you, Alderman. My name is Robert Ives. I reside at 12 Turnberry Court, Plantsville, Connecticut.
Sean Cleary, 54 East Street, Wolcott, Connecticut.
So I represent I'm not an attorney, but I work at the Michaud Law Group that represents the Tritech, the solar developer, very large-scale solar developer, international. They come out of Switzerland, but they have a U.S. subsidiary. And so basically what we're operating in is within the Connecticut legislatures. They created what they call the Non-Residential Renewable Energy Solutions Program. That is to help build out renewable energy in Connecticut to help take a bite out of the 7 gigawatts or so amount of power that Connecticut and its residents and businesses use each year. And so they mandated that developers and municipalities partner up so the municipalities can get some benefit from doing this, not only getting a clean environment, but getting some monetary benefit from helping us build these programs. So if we want to build a system size of X, we need to match it with New Britain as the example here of X amount of kilowatt hours from New Britain. We then bid it into the NRES auction, which is actually opened up last week. And when we win our award, our projects are well advanced into the stage of siting council, interconnection, and so when we win the award, we're fairly close to being able to build our projects as soon as we build these and make them commercially operational, turning the lights on within a set time frame. City of New Britain, in this case, would receive 5 annual payments for allowing us to use your beneficial accounts where nowhere else in the country can you use load that you don't even have anymore. It's beneficial. It's electric beneficial accounts are your usage on your municipal buildings, and so we use that, bid it in per the state statutes, and then we're allowed to then go ahead and build our projects once we're awarded that.
Anybody have any questions?
Good. Mr. Chairman, could I ask John to come back to the podium and maybe give us a little background of what benefits have ensued from this today?
Yearly payment for 5 years. Yeah.
Estimated to be $1 million, $200,000 a year for 5 years.
$200,000 a year for 5 years, so $1 million over a 5-year period. The plan for this money would be to go into a non-recurring account for the city to help offset the electricity increases, help do energy projects and stuff of that nature. So that's the goal of this of the funds that are coming in for this, is really to help offset. The original program was a V&M program. This is the replacement of the V&M program. V&M was originally a savings on our electricity bills. They have then since gotten rid of that. You'll see that with the anaerobic digester. That's the next project coming up. This is the new program where instead of you get a savings, you actually end up getting a yearly payment. They typically like to do a lump sum upfront payment. I don't think that's a justice to the city. I felt that it'd be better to break it out over the years. So that's why I asked for 5-year payments, so that way we could use those funds to help offset, again, rising electricity costs and supplier costs that are definitely hitting the budget hard this year.
Microphone?
Talk to the group tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, Alderman Santiago.
Oh, I don't have to sit.
You can say.
Hi, so the 5 years is what is 240. I know the contract, we had gotten it today. I know we can't talk about it because it's not official, so we can't really break it down or anything like that, but, why is it 5 years if it's a 20-year agreement?
So again, the first contract we did with Tritech, we got approved last year with the council. We actually did break it out into 20 years because I felt that was the best way to do it. This company typically does a lump sum payment. Again, it's whoever comes to us with these projects available to us. So they were willing to give us a 5-year, even though their model, right, correct me if I'm wrong, your model correctly, technically right now with other municipalities and other businesses are a one lump sum payment up front. I preferred longer payments, so they're willing to meet me at 5 years. You could explain
Yeah.
further on why they.
Great question. Thank you, Alderman. Yeah, typically, most of our municipal clients, they were offered a lump sum agreement. When you get into the accounting and the finance people, which I'm not either, they pencil out their projects and they look at how much they can afford to give and still, get the return on investment. And so the model was an annual one lump sum for the city of New Britain. And in the negotiations, they allowed a 20-year, but they went back to, instead of a lump sum, we worked out another negotiation to do a 5-year special for the city of New Britain to spread out those dollars so you wouldn't just receive one check. And in John's case, the V&M program were credits against your electric bills. This program, you're receiving cash so that you can do as with it, with the dollars as you so decide. But those are the financial particulars about why versus.
Where is this facility where is this going to be generating the money, the electricity
So we haven't disclosed the actual location yet. We're going to be bidding that in the current auction that started last week ends on March 15th, but we're looking at one specific project that needs 9 million kilowatt hours. We're deep into the interconnection process, and we've done a lot of civil engineering, so we're getting really close to submitting to the siting council. So timing is everything. You win the award, you're not there yet. As soon as you build these things, then there's a lot of money going out the door. Lawyers and civil and electrical engineers. And so once we get these things turned on, then they start receiving the revenue, and then that's how they do their financial models on when and how they can pay these dollars out.
Thank you. Just one thing though, just to know, we had just gotten the contract today. So again, we didn't get a chance to take a look at it. It's kind of, it's kind of hefty. So I'm not a voting member. I was just, I was advising some of the councilmen that maybe we might have to take a minute to take a look at this and then bring it back. Just kind of just throwing it up there. But anybody else want a question?
Just for the particulars on that, not that you shouldn't do your due diligence, but this contract, the legalese in it has been used for all of our municipal clients. You certainly want to do your due diligence. I'm not telling you not to do your due diligence, but it's a standard agreement that we've used in Meriden, in Torrington, in Plymouth, and we have a substantial number of municipal clients that adopted projects for us.
All right, having no other questions, Mr. Chairman, I call the motion to send it on with a neutral recommendation.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
I'm just calling the
Oh.
question.
Oh, okay. Well, seeing no further discussion, the motion to refer with a neutral recommendation to the Common Council. All members in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. The second item on our agenda is item number 36348. Oh, no, I apologize. Just did that. Let's see. Yes, the second item on our agenda is item number 36348, 5-year extension on virtual net metering credit agreement with Hightone Ag Grid LLC. May I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to accept and refer to the full council with a neutral recommendation.
All righty. Is there a second? All righty. So there's a motion made by Alderman Malinowski, seconded to Alderman Russell, to refer to the Common Council this item with you said a neutral recommendation? Yes. Beautiful. Is there any discussion?
Is
Mr. Chair.
Aldo Santiago.
So why 5 years? What was it about the 5 years? I mean, the reason why I'm asking is, what took so long for the project to be done? Because that's the reason why you're asking for 5 years.
COVID.
correct? So what
Through
was-
you, Mr. Chair, COVID,
Of course.
COVID.
What was the benefit, since the project has been created till now, what was the benefit so far?
So far, the savings on this project has generated about $30,000. Again, it just started generating electricity in third quarter of last year, but we saw about $30,000 savings. This year, we anticipate closer to $200,000 for the full year.
So per year, it's about 200,000, you're saying?
Yeah, anywheres from, it depends on the usage, right? So anaerobic digester, it's typically it's a hole in the ground that collects waste, typically cow waste in the location it is right now, and traps the gas, and then with the gas, it utilizes the gas to generate electricity. So depending on how much waste is going in there, it's depending on how much electricity they're generating. So what happened was, they rely heavily on local distributions. They also have what's called a depackager, so they were looking for food waste as well. So the more food waste that gets put in there is more gas as well, generating more electricity for the city, well, more electricity savings for the city. So as it's at its maximized point, that's when we get our maximized savings.
Mr. Chairman, John, how long is this outfit, is it High Tone Agrid?
That is correct.
Been connected with the city?
So High Tone Agrid, like I said, I think original discussions were 2021 or 2020. AG Grid is with a, I don't know what to call her, developer. Rashi, she brought that to us. That's the original anaerobic digester that's located in Thompson, sorry, upper northeast corner of the state. So that is AG Grid Fort Hill. So AG Grid Fort Hill, we've been generating savings from that project for at least the last 3 years, if not more. No, probably 2-3 years now. And now High Tone, AG Grid. High Tone is this new one that I'm bringing to you guys now that, again, due to delays, it finally just got to the point where we're generating more electricity. And again, due to their funding sources, again, it's a serious project. It's a lot of funding goes into it. So their loan people are looking for us to possibly extend the contract now, so that way they at least have, typically it's a 15-year term for these contracts. So again, when we signed it, or 10 years, I'm sorry. So when we signed it, it's already lapsed 2 to 3 years. So now they're looking for those additional 5 years to get us over that 10-year hump for them. Again, it's in the contract. There's no reason we wouldn't have renewed it in 5, once the contract was up, and we have 2 options to renew it additional 5 years. But again, due to their funding sources, they're looking for us to do that. Again, they've brought these great projects to us. We're lucky to have them bring these projects to us. The first project was shared with Middletown. The second project was given all to us because I was willing to offload these energy accounts to them. So I think due to them bringing these savings to the city, I felt that it's not an injustice to the city. It's a savings that, again, this program is long gone. So it's nothing we could ever get back. It's not accounts we could ever put towards anything else in the future. These gentlemen here are actually utilizing those V&M accounts to submit in this new project, so we're kind of double dipping in some savings there as well. So there's a lot out there for this project to help it succeed, and we do want it to succeed because it's a great renewable energy source and helps deal with a lot of food waste too. So again, as they generate more food waste from local distribution companies that have the requirement to get rid of food waste, the more they get in there and the more electricity it generates, the more savings for the city.
Just, my youth and experience is showing, but are there, if it's not measuring up to what the city wants, are there out clauses with these contracts?
I don't believe so, to be honest with you, because it's never a cost to the city. There's just savings generated from the city. It's kind of what is required out of them. They're putting millions and millions of dollars into these projects. Again, any city, town, anybody out there would be fighting for this because there's only so much of it available out there. So I don't believe so, to be honest with you. There's no reason to. Again, there's no cost to the city anywhere along the the life of the contract. It's just generation of savings, no matter what, on the term of the contract.
No further questions, Mr.
I got you. Alderman Malinowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you. Mr. Delgadillo, can you give us a ballpark approximately how many sort of clean and renewable energy sources the city's dealing with right now?
Well, with them, we have this current project, we have another project, solar project. With another developer, we're working on a solar project. I have both landfills, one currently under contract to develop a solar project in Berlin, the other one pending some review there to also be developed as a solar project. And then the 2 anaerobic digesters, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, anywhere from 7, including some of the solar facilities that we have ourselves that we own on our existing properties, which is 2 for the municipality and 3 for the school side.
And all of these projects are generating savings for the city?
Yes, yes, the more recent ones, yes, for sure.
We're heavily invested in clean renewable energy.
Yeah, that's for sure, yeah. So these gentlemen here, they keep asking me for more accounts, so they could take more of our accounts and utilize it in this bid to save us more money, give us more money up front. I have nothing left for them. I've been doing this since I started here in 2017, so I've kind of maxed us out. They actually found us a little loophole here, so that's why they're able to double dip and get us some more money out of here. But, you know, this losing out, I feel like they could speak strongly on that. This bid is probably going to eliminate some loopholes that we're trying to submit for on this current auction. So all these projects are, you know, time sensitive to be the first one to jump in. Again, any municipality or towns out there willing to take these without a question. So,
Thank you, Mr. Delgadillo.
thank you.
Do you?
Santiago?
Okay, you're saying New Britain, so a lot of towns that would jump on it. How many are there now that are currently, that you know of, that are?
Yeah, like I said, we share the anaerobic digester with Middletown. You know, he listed just a bunch of towns and cities that are utilizing the NRES bid submission or B&M submission. The positive with the NRES submission is they have a clause for distressed cities. So you have, you know, developers like them that seek out cities like us to help them submit to the bid because it provides a higher advantage to get the project approved, to get that funding credits, to get them going.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Alrighty. Well, seeing no further discussion, the motion to refer with a neutral recommendation to the Common Council on this item. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. The third item on our agenda is item 36328, to amend the Code of Ordinances to add section 2-44.3 for the creation of the Common Council Committee on Housing and Homelessness. May I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Alderman McNamara.
we received an opinion on the,
First make a motion.
motion to accept and refer with a neutral recommendation.
All right, is there a second? Seconded by Alderwoman McAdam. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, we received in January an opinion from our corp counsel who's here tonight with regard to the need for clarifying language on this committee. This council has to decide whether to make this a subcommittee of this committee, Planning, Zoning, and Housing, or make it a freestanding committee dedicated to the issue of homelessness. And that may require, and I know Alderman Connors is here, who did some good work on developing it, might want to have something to say about it. But for that reason, I would say we table it for action in the next cycle of the meeting, after with the language done in committee, rather than putting it out on the floor with the council. And the issue is our current process is we have three standing committees, for lack of a better word, right? Three major committees. Yeah, right. And this issue that has really dominated our early meetings needs a harder look on the kind of response the council wants to give on an ongoing basis. So that's why I'd say a motion to table to rework the, well, I'm not saying table unless anybody has any other comments about it.
Is there a motion to table?
Or what was my motion? Yes. Yes. My motion is to table for the reasons cited by our corporation counsel on that. And
Seconded by, there's a motion on the table, there's a motion here to table item 36328 made by Alderman McNamara, seconded by Alderman Malinowski. All in favor? Aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, the motion is tabled. And may I have a motion to adjourn? That concludes our agenda for tonight. All right, so moved by Alderman Malinowski, seconded by Alderwoman McAdam. All in favor? All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. We are adjourned.
Because it wasn't quick first, and then this one should work. Yeah, from 40 to 50 went down.